They ditch the book club for the boo club.
Who do you call when you have something going on?
How these suburban moms turn ghost
On the
hunters.
WGN Evening News, exploring the paranormal. Why local moms are on the hunt for ghosts. Wondered if there's such thing as ghosts.
Well, there's a small group of local ghost hunters who are ready to help. WGN's Julie Unruh is here with more on the Paranormal Mom Society.
So there are plenty of people at home probably snickering right now. You heard
No,
Tom
I believe in ghosts.
Well, go ahead and laugh if you want, Tom.
Julie, if you're reporting on it, I believe it's happening, you know?
Tom,
So there.
I love this guy. Paranormal Mom Society. Their acronym, PMS. Go ahead and laugh. This small group of suburban moms, they're spending their free time tracking, documenting, even talking to spirits from another world, they claim. And when things get ugly, and sometimes they do, they'll even help people get rid of those ghosts. They use voice translators, temperature readers, video recorders, and so much more to find proof of the afterlife right here on Earth. Sometimes that's all people want, proof. In some cases, the Paranormal Mom Society will help contact ghosts and find out why they're haunting a person or a place. They can even help get rid of them. And they say they have a proven record. They took us to a house in Maywood that has long been rumored to be haunted. As we walked around, we used all their toys to see who else might be lurking in this alleged haunted house. It's a former shelter for soldiers' widows and their children. It was spooky, all right. They tell me the evidence they produced that night showed we had some contact with the afterlife while we were there. The question is, do you believe? Several people we spoke with say you just don't believe it until it happens to you. And the calls for help these ghost hunters get, well, they truly run the gamut.
We still remember with a guy saying he had frog sounds coming from his bathtub, so it's silly things like that all the way to, my kids are being terrorized at night.
They've heard it all. The Paranormal Moms Society, a real thing. We'll tell you all about them and their unusual hobby of ghost hunting tonight at 10.
Oh!
I could hear like the trap door for the crawl space would come up and then fall down. Would come up and then fall down. And I'm like, even my dog wouldn't go nowhere near it. He would take off running.
Ooh, Society of Suburban Moms hunting for the paranormal.
It really made me mad is seeing my dog get slapped across the head and there was nothing there.
Living inside a haunted house? Who this woman called to find peace under her roof again.
There's a group of suburban moms with a unique hobby. They spend their free time hunting ghosts.
Did your grandson fight in the Civil War?
Yes. These ladies call themselves the Paranormal Moms Society. They track, document, and communicate with spirits using voice translators, temperature readers, and video recorders. They say sometimes all people want is proof. In some cases, they claim to have contacted ghosts to find out why they are haunting a person or a place.
With a guy saying he had frog sounds coming from his bathtub, so it's silly things like that all the way to, my kids are being terrorized at night.
Says it is a successful record of helping people get rid of ghosts.
Oh, brother.
Larry gets so angry. You don't know. What
No,
do you
I do know.
The moms who are in this, they said they've all had their own paranormal experiences. You are just a hater.
I know the gadgets from Radio Shack
Be quiet.
aren't doing much of anything.
Sure.
WGN News at 10.
So, do you believe in ghosts? Maybe you think your house is haunted.
If you're trying to get to the bottom of some potential afterlife where you live, there is a group of suburban women who say they can help. Julie Unruh is here with more on the Paranormal Moms Society.
And short, PMS. Say what you will, but these ladies mean business. They are female ghost hunters with a sense of humor, of course. And while they try to keep things light as they investigate reported paranormal problems, this group of 7 takes all cases very seriously. Because by the time someone gathers enough courage to actually give them a call, that person is likely very scared or pretty desperate. These women, on the other hand, aren't scared one bit of what they can't see.
I started getting scratched, punched, slapped. I've had my hair pulled. Pictures would fly off the walls.
I can remember seeing a shadow make a loop around the room, and it went down and around the window and up and all the way around the room. And it wasn't like from a vehicle going by. This thing had like its own flight path.
we heard a noise out here. Muggsy barked. And then I said, it's all right. It's nothing. And then he barked again. And then behind my head, I heard someone go, woof. And I went, that's it. I'm done.
Trina Wagner and her husband Neil were definitely done, putting up with some aggressive, ever-present spirit they believed living in, under, or around their Manhattan, Illinois home, about an hour outside of Chicago.
It has better use for them.
TVs would turn on full blast in the middle of the night. Their crawl space door would open and close repeatedly on its own. Footsteps could be heard in the kitchen when no one else was around. It just didn't add up. So Trina combed the internet and found the Paranormal Mom Society.
The group of moms who all have a love for hunting ghosts.
I don't mean to sound like a superhero. Who do you call when you have something going on?
Sorry, we couldn't resist. And despite the movie franchise's popularity, these gals would prefer you don't call them Ghostbusters. They prefer the term ghost hunters instead.
We'll go back downstairs.
They all have kids, jobs, and real lives, but when the afterlife gets in the way of your real life, they move in and move you out. They use all sorts of gadgets and gizmos to call up the so-called spirits haunting your home.
The first thing we try and do is go in and debunk what's going on. Is there another reason for what's happening?
They can toss out maybe 9 out of 10 cases, she says, by explaining the once unexplainable. But every so often, places like the Maywood Home for Soldiers' Widows delivers what they consider the real deal.
Did your grandson fight in the Civil War?
Yes.
They check meters, record images, create stakeouts, and hope to capture something, anything on video which is considered evidence of the afterlife. Proof a spirit from beyond is operating in their midst.
I think they're around us all the time. You know, it's just a matter of do they want us to know it or not.
The Paranormal Mom Society ultimately helped Trina and her husband find an angry old man under their closet of all places, in a crawl space. A shaman and a medium were called in to get the hostile spirit out. Now Trina cleanses the corners of her home with citrus oils, and she burns sage sticks to keep positive energy flowing while keeping the negative energy out. After 2 years of living with the eternal unrest, peace at last, and it didn't cost the Wagners a dime.
We haven't had anything bad or aggressive or anything like that since.
All's quiet on the home front. For the members of PMS, this is only a hobby, not a full-time job. They claim they've all had their own experiences with ghosts that clearly led them to one another. As mothers, they say they like to help others and they like to work on cases that actually involve kids in some way. If you want to learn more about the Paranormal Mom Society, you can head to our website, WGNTV.com. Their slogan, Ghosts don't mess with PMS. They're keeping it light.
That's cute.
Why do you have to hunt for ghosts at night? They never do it in the daytime. It would be much less scary.
Where were you when we were talking to these ladies? That's the question of the hour.
Okay. Julie, thanks a lot. We're going to